It was a crisp autumn night in Buffalo, 1997, and the Goo Goo Dolls were in their small, cluttered rehearsal studio. The place smelled of stale beer and cigarettes, the walls plastered with faded gig posters. They were grinding through songs for their upcoming album, Dizzy Up the Girl. Johnny Rzeznik, the band's frontman, was feeling the pressure. The band had seen modest success, but they were far from household names. The label wanted a hit, a big one, and they wanted it yesterday. Johnny slumped on a worn-out stool, his trusted Takamine guitar in his lap. The room was quiet except for the hum of an amp in standby mode. He strummed aimlessly, searching for the kind of melody that could silence the doubts in his head. Suddenly, with an overzealous strum, he snapped the G string. The sharp twang echoed through the room. "Damn it," he muttered, wincing. Without thinking, he yanked the string free and went to restring it, but as he tightened the replacement, the D string snapped in defiance. "Are you kidding me right now?" Johnny groaned, tossing the guitar pick onto the amp. "Maybe the universe is telling you something," Robbie Takac, the bassist, said with a laugh. "Like, stop playing." Johnny shot him a mock glare but knew he wasn't wrong. Maybe he did need a break, or maybe, he thought, I just need to play through this mess. Instead of fully restringing the guitar, Johnny tightened the remaining 4 strings and started strumming. The sound was strange, airy, almost hollow, but it intrigued him. It didn't sound polished, but it felt raw, and in its imperfections, it held a kind of yearning. A melody started to take shape, soft and haunting, the kind of tune that could make the hairs on your neck stand up. Johnny's fingers danced across the fretboard as the beginnings of a song emerged, delicate yet insistent. Robbie stopped tuning his bass and leaned in. "What's that?" "I don't know," Johnny said, still strumming. "Just something." He kept playing, experimenting with the sparse sound created by the missing strings. The chords seemed to pull emotions from him he hadn't realized were there. Words began to surface, fragments of longing, vulnerability, and raw honesty. "And I'd give up forever to touch you." The phrase spilled out, unfiltered. Johnny froze for a moment, then scribbled it onto a crumpled napkin. For the next few hours, he stayed hunched over the guitar, crafting lyrics that spoke of connection, of love so deep it blurred the line between the physical and the spiritual. The song felt cinematic, as if it belonged in a moment of pure revelation. By the end of the night, Johnny had what he needed, the skeletal framework of what would become Iris. When the band took it to the studio a few weeks later, the producers added lush strings and layered guitars, transforming Johnny's raw idea into a sweeping anthem. And when Iris was released, first on the soundtrack for City of Angels and then on the band's album, it exploded. It wasn't just a hit, it was the hit, the kind that turns a band into legends. Years later, when asked about the song, Johnny would laugh and say, "It all started with a broken guitar. Funny how things work out, huh?"